guys, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my video and to stop by my channel. I hope you guys are all doing amazing today as always. So today's video is going to be my current eyebrow routine, but I wanted to share with you guys a drugstore option as well as a high-end option, just because I like to kind of jump back and forth between the two, just depending on how I feel that day. But nonetheless, they both work pretty bomb.com. So I wanted to give you guys a couple options, that way if you're a gorgeous gal who is just trying to experiment and start out on makeup and trying to, you know, practice and all that kind of good stuff, there is that drugstore alternative, because you get that really great quality, but it's for the fraction of the price, which for me, there's no issue with that. That's always a really amazing and good thing. But I will show you guys two drugstore favorites of mine, as well as two high-end favorites of mine. And on top of showing you guys how I fill in my brows, I will also share with you guys a couple tips and tricks that I like to use when I want to kind of keep the shape of my eyebrows, you know, to upkeep them, to keep them from looking like baby caterpillars, because Lord knows if I didn't do my little grooming routine on top of everything else I do, they would look like little baby caterpillars, and that's never a cute thing. At least for me, it's not a cute thing. But yeah, filling my brows is one of my favorite things to do as far as, you know, my makeup kind of routine, just because I feel like your brows really frame your face very nicely, and just by filling them in, they just look a little bit more polished and put together. I don't know, it just makes the world of a difference, I think, just like mascara and like blush and like highlight and like contour. No kidding. So yeah, if you guys are interested to watch my routine as well as find out some really great alternatives that are out there in the beauty world, just keep watching. So the very first thing that I like to do is tweeze my eyebrows. I used to get them waxed, and I don't know why I did it for so long. I always left unhappy. They either took too much or too little off, and it starts to kind of rack up a little bit, all that expense. So I just said to heck with waxing, and I'm gonna just start tweezing, which for me, it's not uncomfortable as long as I kind of upkeep it. And I'd much rather pick like 3 or 4 hairs a week than to go, you know, weeks at a time to let them all grow out and then to just go crazy with my tweezers. And for those of you ladies who don't have a shape quite yet, or you're wanting to reshape your eyebrows, one trick that's really helped me is making sure that I have 3 points to my brow. You want to make sure that you take a spoolie or a makeup brush or something, and you want to make sure that you line it up with your nose, and then this is where the beginning of the inner part of your eyebrow is going to start. So you go from this point, you take it over just a tad bit, that's your second point, and that's where your arc is going to be. Your arch is going to be. Your arc, your boat, your arch is going to be, and then you go a smidge over, and that's the tail. So you want to make sure that with your eyebrows you have 3 points to it. So once I've laid all those little baby hairs down, I like to go in and from the root of the hair, I like to grab and then pull. And for me, I've always preferred a kind of more thick and bold brow. Everyone rocks brows a little different. Everyone has their own taste as far as how brows are supposed to look, and that's completely okay, to each their own. But for me, I like a thicker, bolder brow. So once I have gone in and plucked all the little baby hairs that are underneath and everything is kind of cleaned up on the bottom, I like to take one of these. Now, they're like little tiny baby razors, and you have really, really nice control when it comes to kind of getting rid of all the hairs on top without having to sit and pluck without having to pluck all those little hairs, because I like to get hairs up here, not that I like to, but I tend to, and I don't like it. So I do this to keep that area nice and tidied up. So it gives me a little bit more control. The only thing is just be very, very mindful and really have a steady hand and practice with these, because it's very easy to take off too much. So you want to make sure that you start, you know, not too close and kind of work your way down, so you're not going in and taking so much of the shape away from your brow. So I like to take it and then with gentle strokes like this, follow the natural curve or the natural shape of my brow, and then just very gently kind of smooth out that area and get rid of all of those little extra hairs. And I did this step here recently and I completely forgot. I was trying to keep my eyebrows a mess just for the sake of this video. But what I also like to do is I like to take my brow hairs and comb them upwards and they're groomed today. There's a couple little pieces that can be trimmed, so I will be able to do it for the video. But what this allows you to do is to clean up a lot of the hairs that are a little too long. And once they're kind of cleaned up a little bit, I like to brush them through, make sure they're all nice and tidy. And I did forget to mention, when doing this part, I like to put a little bit of coconut oil. And it would be no different than shaving your legs. You do want some smooth barrier in between your leg and the razor, so it's no different. So what I'm going to be using today is my NYX brow powder in the color Brunette. And when you open it up, you get a light shade, a dark shade, and you get this kind of wax material that is used to kind of lay your baby hairs down and keep them from kind of moving around and everything. I don't tend to use this just because I don't like to put my finger in there and then I have to wipe it and clean it off. It's just an extra step that I guess I'm too lazy to do. So I have something else that I'm going to use to set them. This is what I'm going to use today. The other product that I just wanted to quickly mention is this brow pencil from Milani, and it is in the color dark brown. It has a nice handy spoolie at the end, which is awesome. This spoolie is bomb, guys. So what I like to do is I like to take the lighter shade and then build that color so that the darkest shade is at the very tail end of my eyebrow. So I'm going to take that light brown and make a line, and with the product I still have on my brush, I'm going to start flicking it upwards. So yeah, I'm taking that darker brown and just filling in the tail end of my eyebrow. And in between, take your spoolie and kind of brush through, and that way it not only blends into your brows, but you're also able to see what kind of sparse areas you still have to go back and refill or that you missed before. And once I'm happy with how it looks, I like to take my Milani Brow Shaping Wax, which is basically the same thing in this little kit. It's just in a little pencil form, which makes it so much easier. You don't have to get your fingers dirty. So I'm going to just take this and kind of brush through it very gently. And again, this is just going to help keep all the little baby hairs in place so it's not going all crazy throughout the day. So voila, drugstore brow is done. Moving on to the high-end brow. So I've heard incredibly amazing things about the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow products, and they were not lying. When I first, wanted to kind of branch out and try more high-end brow products, I purchased a little kit, and it came with a brow powder, a gel, a pencil, and tweezers. But it ended up being very cost effective just because that way I'm able to try out all the products, and if I, like them, then I can go back and purchase the bigger size. The brow powder that I got is also in dark brown, so it's kind of the same deal. It's going to have your light shade and then your darker shade. So this I purchased separately, and I love how small and how easy it is to kind of use. Kind of the same idea, an angled brush with a little spoolie, but I'm basically going to do the same thing. One thing that is different about this one is you have more control as far as the intensity of the brown that you're going for, whereas that one is very pigmented. The other one I mentioned is very pigmented. This one you have to gradually build the color. At first it kind of bothered me that I had to sit there and kind of build it up, but in the long run it's perfect for those people who are wanting to try to figure out just how dark you're wanting to go. That control is always a very nice and helpful thing. The other product that I did want to mention before I start filling in my brows is this one from Benefit, and it is called Gimme Brow. It's basically like a mascara type of product. It has a little wand. You basically just run this through, and it has like these dark fibers in it, which basically kind of makes your eyebrows a lot more bolder. It fills them in like that, and it's just really quick and easy to do. So again, I'm going to take that light brown on my angled brush and basically do the same thing. I'm going to follow the shape of my brows, and then with my pencil I like to use that for the end of it as well. And then go in with that darker brown and fill them in as well. And then to set everything, like I mentioned, it came with a gel, and kind of the same idea as like a mascara. It has a little wand in there, and you're going to just brush through. Keeps them locked and loaded for the day. Alrighty guys, well that concludes my eyebrow tutorial. I hope you guys found it helpful and you guys really enjoyed it. If you did, please do give the video a thumbs up. And if you have any requests or any ideas for a video, please leave it as a comment below, because like I mentioned in one of my videos, I really want to start making videos that you guys really want to see. I have a skincare routine coming up really soon that I'm working on. I'm just trying out a couple new products and I'm liking them so far, but before I say, yeah, go out and buy it, it's the bomb, it's amazing, I really want to give it some time. So that is coming because that was requested. Also, my social media links are listed in the down bar always, so if you want to come find me and be BFFs with me. Anyway, I love you guys to the moon and back. Have a beautiful, amazing, blessed rest of the day, and I will see you guys in my next video. My next video. What? I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.